I am going to print out a certificate congratulating myself on completing this puzzle, and I'm going to hang it on my wall and make sure every guest notices it as they walk in. It'll be the first thing listed on my resume with the heading Greatest Accomplishments when I apply for jobs. When I'm on a date, I'll subtly mention that I solved this Sudoku so that they can see I can commit to a long-term relationship from the many hours it took to solve. By far the best Sudoku experience I've ever had. Now that is a comment about the puzzle I'm going to attempt in today's video called Ten Ring Circus. And the comment is over there on Logic Masters Germany. It's by someone with a slightly rude name, so I better not say it. But Jeff Wajes, whose puzzle this is, sent us a recommendation to try this one and said that was the best comment he'd ever had on any of his puzzles, and I can understand why. I mean, that is some praise indeed. Now, I think this puzzle is going to be monstrously hard, not just from that comment, but from the fact it has 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty. And I think I've done the first couple of puzzles in this series on the channel before. And I remember they were very difficult. And Jeff Wajes is one of those people whose brains just work in a different way to the rest of us. He's a very, very gifted guy. And it's not always easy to follow the chain of his reasoning, at least not for my little brain. Anyway, I'm gonna try this for you. It's got a fascinating rule set. It's probably going to be a long video tonight. We'll see how we get on, and I'll read you the rules in a moment or two's time. Now, what else can I tell you about before that? Well, we're going to be streaming again. I know some of you have been enjoying Mark and I's trips to the Blueprints mansion. They are going to continue on Monday night at 10 p.m. UK time. We'd love to have your company for that if you're free. I'll try and remember to put a link to the stream on the screen now. Over on Patreon, we have got this brand new Sudoku hunt running by the Paint by Numbers Institute. I've got the league table. I've just loaded it actually onto my computer, so these numbers are probably very current. 954 solves of the first puzzle. Let's see if I refresh it. Does anything? It's gone up by 11 in a few minutes. That's really cool. So we're closing in on 1,000 solves of the first puzzle. And over 100 solves of all 13 of the puzzles. It's fantastic. Now, if you do want to get involved, the closing date of the competition is the 20th. And the prize, as usual recently, will be the chance to come onto the channel and solve a puzzle with me, which might not appeal, but if it does, that is a way to achieve that goal. Now, what else? No birthdays to do today, bizarrely. A lot of the days recently, I've had loads of birthdays, but there are actually none. And I apologise if I've missed anyone's birthday. If you were expecting a birthday announcement today, then do drop me an email. I'll try and put it right in the coming days. I think that's all the news. So let's settle in. Let's try Ten Ring Circus by Jeff Wajes. The rules are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we're going to have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Each grey line can be divided into segments of contiguous cells where the digits in each segment sums to 10. So let's look at this one. So I don't know actually how many ways there are of doing this. So imagine those sum to 10. I think it might have to even be dominoed, this line. But yeah, the segments, each segment can't overlap, and every cell is part of exactly one segment. So something like that would work. Maybe this could be, I was going to try and put 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, something like that would, I think, be a potentially valid way of filling this line, but there are lots of other lines in the puzzle. Now here is a weird rule. Using red, green and blue, colour in all circles such that orthogonally adjacent circles are different colours, and the digit inside a circle appears that many times in circles of that colour. So imagine this cell was a 1. That would mean that the only green 1 in a circle in the puzzle was that cell. Imagine this was a 2. Then there would need to be 2 red circles, including this one. So maybe that could be a red circle, like that. But then if this was a red circle, you could put a 2 in a green circle, but you couldn't put any more 2s in red circles. If that makes any sense. Not really, you're all saying, but that is how I understand the rule. And that is all the rules as well. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I actually bizarrely think I can start this puzzle. Can't I just do logic using the sort of secret on this box? Now, if you're not familiar with the Sudoku secret, worry not. It's something I share with my very favourite people. And of course, if you're watching this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. So I will share with you the fact that each row, each column, and each 3x3 box of any Sudoku puzzle, because of the rules of Sudoku, sums to 45. That is the sum of the digits 1 to 9 once each. So that box there, all the digits in it sum to 45, but we can see there's a 10 line wandering its way through 8 of the cells of the box. So these 8 cells must add up to a multiple of 10. Now they can't only add up to 30, because then this digit would need to be a 15 in order to make the box add up to 45. So I think they must add up to 40. And that's got to be a 5. That feels right, doesn't it? The same's going to be true there. 5 is in one of 3 cells in the middle box. Okay. Can't see whether I can do anything else with that. I might be able to. No, I can't see anything. I mean, the first thought, though, that I have when I write 5 in here is now lots of digits. Well, all the digits in the puzzle, apart from possibly the digit 5, are on circles at least once. So 9 is circled. So probably what we need to do is to count the circles. That's that. Okay, I double-clicked on the circle thinking it would highlight all the circle. It highlighted all the blank circles. Okay, so let's do this. How many circles have we got? We've got 4, 5, 6. 6 and 7 is 13. Plus 4 is 17. Plus 8. Plus 2 lots of 8. 16. 16 and 17 is 33. 37. 40. 47. 53. Okay, I'm actually going to do that again in case I've made an error there, because if I have, the puzzle will be very, very hard to solve indeed. So 5, 12, 17, 22, 22 and 8 is 30, 35, 41, 47, 53. Okay, so it looks like 53 is the total number of circles, and that's already quite weird. Although I think this has happened in another Jeff Wajes puzzle that I've looked at before, or maybe it was a Marty Sears puzzle. The reason 53 is weird is it's more than 45. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you think about it, 9 we know is circled in this puzzle. So there are 9 circled 9s. 8 we know is circled in the puzzle. So there are 8 circled 8s in some colour. But if we only had one of each number in a circle, we'd only reach 45 circles, because you'd have 9 circled 9s, 8 circled 8s, 7 circled 7s, 6 circled 6s. It's like, you know, the 12 days of Christmas. And we know 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 45. But there are 53 circles here. So what's going on? Well, what must be going on is a digit like 4, for example, it could actually be in 8 circles, because it could be 4 times, there could be 4, imagine this was a 4 and it was green, and this was a 4 and it was red. Then there are supposed to be 4 green circles and 4 red circles in the puzzle. So there would be 8 circled 4s instead of 4 circled 4s. So you can amp up, you can supercharge the number of circles beyond the 45 supposed cap, if you see what I mean. It's not really a cap, because you can have different colours of circles. So, okay, so what we should do is we should work out the maximum, the true maximum number of circles. So the digits 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5 could only appear in one colour, because we couldn't do this with 5s, could we? If we did, you'd have 5 green 5s and 5 red 5s. That would put 10 5s in the Sudoku puzzle, and there are only 9 5s. There are only 9 of any digit in any Sudoku puzzle, so that won't work. But you could have 8 4s by having 4s in 2 different colours. You could have 9 3s actually, because you could have 3 3s in each of the 3 colours. So let's see how much this is adjusting the minimum. So the supposed minimum was 45. We've now got an extra 4 4s. We've got an extra 6 3s. We've got 10 more. You could have an extra 4 2s, because you could have 2 in 3 different colours. So now I've got an extra 14, and you could have an extra 2 1s. So you have 1s in all 3 colours altogether for 16. So the maximum is 61 circles. And what did we say we had? 53 circles. Oh, okay. That's really, they're very far apart actually. Okay. Sorry, I'm not actually sure what to do with that then. So we've definitely got 9s, 8s, 7s and 6s for certain in one colour each, because in box 4, for example, 9, 8, 7 and 6 are definitely circled. So if we could establish the colour of any of those, they would be consistently that colour through the puzzle. And I think 5, yeah, it's going to be very difficult for, it's not impossible, but it's going to be very difficult. Actually, it's not going to be, it's not actually terribly difficult, is it? Because there's so many degrees of freedom. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure 5 will be circled in the middle box, because, well, in fact, it doesn't even have to be. There only have to be 5 circled 5s, if 5 is circled at all. No, okay. That's interesting, though. Yeah, right. When I was doing the examples of 10 lines, I was noticing that it was difficult to put. Yeah, okay. Let me just talk about this, because this might be relevant. When I was trying to do the example, I was thinking about whether it was possible to have a 3-cell a 3-cell sequence along this line adding up to 10. And I actually didn't think it was, as I was doing it before, and I'm now just trying to articulate that a bit more cleanly. It's definitely not possible to have a 4-cell segment adding to 10, because these would have to be the digits 1, 2, 3 and 4. But then, and that's fine, but this leftover domino is impossible, because that these two digits would both be at least 5 and they would add up to more than 10. So this couldn't be a 10 segment. So you definitely can't have a 4-cell segment. But if you have a 3-cell segment, so these 3 cells we're claiming add up to 10, what do these 3 cells have to add up to? Well, they can't add up to 20. Well, they could in theory add up to 20, but they wouldn't be separately dividable into 10 sums, so that won't work. You can't make those two add up to 10 and then just write 10 into this cell. That's nonsense. So these 3 cells would have to add up to 10 as well. And that doesn't work because it's impossible for 6 different Sudoku numbers to only add up to 20, because the triangular number for 6 is 21. If we fill these with the minimum digits possible, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, they add up to 21, so you can't do it. Now that's relevant actually to 5, isn't it? Because, yeah, this is what I was just wondering. If you put 5 onto this line at all, it breaks it, therefore. Because if you put 5 onto it, how are we going to make a 10 sum? We're going to have to add 2 digits to this 5 to add up to 10, because you can't repeat the 5 and make it a 2-digit sum. So by having a 2-digit 10 sum, something like a 1, 4, then these 3 have to add up to 10 again, and it won't work. So there are no 5s on here. So 5s in boxes 2 and 8 are in those cells, which means 5 is in the middle of the puzzle. And now it's getting a bit difficult for 5 to be circled. I don't think it's impossible, but we have got 3 5s that are not circled. So, hang on. Where's 5 in box 9? Yeah, it's the same trick again, but just with a different length line. Can you put 5 on this line? No. Because again, you're going to need it. You can't make 3 different Sudoku digits only add up to 5, even if you make them the lowest they can be. 1, 2, and 3 add up to 6. So to put a 5 on this line, you'd need 2 more digits to be 1, 4, or 2, 3, and then you'd get a 10. You'd have to write 10 into that cell. You can't do it. So 5 is not on these ones either. So 5. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool, because now I've actually managed to get 5 off circles in 5 different boxes. 1, 2, 3. The 5 in this box by Sudoku is in those 2 cells. The 5 in this box by Sudoku is in these 2 cells, so it's not there actually, and it's not here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5s, definitely not on circles. So, and in fact there's a 5 there that's not on a circle. So the most number of 5s you could ever put on circles in the puzzle would be 3. But that can't work, because there should be at least 5 5s in circles if you put a 5 on any circle. So 5 now is not, well, so 5's not circled. So how can 5 go there? It can't. So that's a 5. I've got a digit down over there. So 5's in one of 3 places. No, not there, because I've got a 5's pencil mark there. And 5's in one of those positions. Oh, bobbins. Okay, so that hasn't quite gone as far as I thought it might, but it's going to affect our arithmetic, isn't it? Because now, what do we have to get to? 53. 53 circles in total. But now there's never a 5 in a circle. So what was the maximum? We adjusted it by 16. We adjusted the 45 by 16 as a maximum to get to the 61 that was the theoretical maximum before. So now the theoretical maximum, given 5 is never circled, is 56. And that means there are, well, we know that we need 53. So we can afford, so we must have 8 circled 4s in the puzzle. Because if we didn't, I'd lose another 4 off my theoretical max, and I'd go down to 52 maximum circles. And there are 53 circles in the puzzle. So now, this is great. So now I know that there's a circled 9, a circled 8, a circled 7, a circled 6, no circled 5, 8 circled 4s in 2 different colours. Now, well, there are several circled ones. There are 3 circled ones in the puzzle. I can see that straight away. There's a circled one in that box. There's a circled one in that box, and there's a circled one in column 5. So there are 3 circled ones, 8 circled 4s. Oh, I'm losing track of the arithmetic here. Okay, let's do it a different way. So the sum of all Sudoku digits, not including 5, is 40. I know in this puzzle I've got 4 4s on top of the natural 4s, so I can add 4 to 40 to get 44, and we're heading up for 53, aren't we? I've got 2 extra circled ones compared to normal, so that takes me to 46. So I need 7 more. Right. Yeah, that's lovely. I need 7 more circles, but I've only got the digits. I can put some extra 2s in, and I can put some extra 3s in, but 7 is an odd number. So I've got to have, I can only have 1 extra set of 3s, and then I have 2 extra sets of 2s in order to get my extra 7. Right, so now I know the complete panoply of digits in the puzzle. I think they are 9 9s in circles, 8 8s in circles, 7 7s in circles, 6 6s in circles, 5 gold, no 5s, 8 4s in circles, 6 3s in circles. We only want 1 extra set of 3s. 6 2s in circles, so I need to have 2s in all 3 of the different colours, and 3 1s in the puzzle, so I have 1s in all 3 of the different colours. Yeah, okay. So the 4s and the 3s each appear in only 2 of the 3 colours. The 2s and the 1s appear in all of the colours, and all of the other digits except 5 appear in 1 colour. There we go. That's how it works. Now, what does that mean? I haven't got a clue. It's funny, I feel that's... How does that actually take me forward? Is it 9s or something? I know 9 is shaded. Not shaded, it's circled and shaded. And all the 9s are going to be the same colour, which is green, blue or red. So there one of these must, because 9 9s need to be shaded, there has to be a 9 in one of those. I don't know how to do this. What? Is it to do with... Is it the 10 lines again then? Maybe it's to do with ones, actually. I mean, I can see that. Yeah, okay. Here is a point that might not be directly relevant to what we were just talking about, but it's another point, so I'll make it. I'm going to claim, I think it's true, that all of the 10 lines in this puzzle, and there are sort of 3 different types, aren't there? There's this rectangle, there's this funny shape here, and there's this square. And I think on all 3 of those types, you're going to have dominoed 10 sums. What do I mean? I mean, we've worked out it's going to be 2 cell 10 sums. So it's going to be a 1 and a 9, a 2 and an 8, a 3 and a 7, or a 4 and a 6 on all of those. But, and that's, yeah, that is definitely true for this 8 cell line, because then there's definitely a 9 on it, so that's going to have to partner with 1. And then there's definitely an 8 on it, and that's going to have to partner with 2, because it can't partner with the 1, because the 1's being hypothecated to the 9, etc. So it's just, that's what's happening. Now, I'm just wondering, therefore, about 9s, because I can only put... The 9 in this box is going to be tied inexorably to a 1. And the 9 in this box is going to be tied inexorably to a 1. Okay, but the 1 in that column doesn't necessarily have to be tied to the 9, does it? Because it might not be. But... Right. I might be wrong about this, but let me just explain. I don't think... Okay. Here is my thought, such as it is, and you can laugh at me, and you probably will. 9. There are 9s in the puzzle. I don't know what colour they're going to end up being. Let's say that they're green. There's going to be a 9 on here, and it will be green. And it will be next to, in order to create a 10 sum, it will be next to a 1. But that 1 can't be green because of the rules. Orthogonally adjacent digits, so say that was 9. This can't be a 1. Well, no, this might be a 1, but it can't be the same colour as that one. That's what the rules say. So, in this box and this box, you're going to have 1s that are circled that are not the same colour as the 9. So if the 9 is green, the 1 in this box might be blue and the 1 in this box might be red. But where is the green 1 going? Because there must be a green 1 by our count of circles. There is a 1 of every colour. Now, I tell you where it isn't. I know it's in column 5 somewhere, because it's the third circled one. But it's not on the rectangles. Because the rectangles, what we've just said is the rectangles split into dominoes. So if I do put 1 on here, I have to put 9 with it. And the 9 is always green in my example. So the 1 couldn't be green 1. It wouldn't work. And so I would get the wrong number of 1s in red or blue. So the 1 in this column is in one of those cells and is the same colour as the 9 itself. Well, it's all the 9s. But now And I can just run that logic in reverse, can't I? And say, where's 9 in column 5? If I put 9 on the rectangles, that's going to cause there to be a circled 1 in an extra circled 1 in one of these boxes where there's not allowed to be one. Right, so this is a 1-9 pair in the middle column. And therefore, yeah, this is gorgeous. Good grief. Right, so where I can just, okay, yeah, this is, okay, I should know. I didn't see it like this, but I do see it now. Okay, when I worked out that this rectangle was dominoed, i.e. it's split up into 3 different 10 sums, what I could have done is said, okay, that sums to 30, that's a 5, so this domino here is a sort of theoretical, it's got a theoretical 10 line joining these 2 cells. And actually now, because we can't put 1 on this rectangle, 1 is in one of those, and so is 9. And the 1, this is beautiful, and the 1 can't be in the circle, because we've already got a circled 1 here, a circled 1 here, and a circled 1 there. That's all 3 circled 1s we're allowed. So that is definitely a 9, that's definitely a 1. I think that probably works down here as well. Yeah, you can't put 1 on there, because it would have to part. Yeah, you can't do it. There's too many 1s. So 1 is here, which means 9 is here by it's exactly analogous. And then the 1 can't be circled, so that's 9, and this is a 1-5 pair. I tell you what I'd like, and that there, well, it's the same. It's the same. In this box, 9 can't go on the sort of Fistomophel ring 2x2. Because if it does, it's got to be a partnering up with 1, and I've already got my 3 circled 1s. So 9 is in one of those 2 cells. Oh, it's nearly difficult to put 9 into... 9 must be circled in box 3. So it's only got 2 places it can go now. And... yeah, where is 9 in box 1? It can't be on this 2x2 because it would partner up with a 1 and put too many circled 1s in. It can't be there, so it's there. So it's here now. It's not. Well, we don't know it's not blue because that could of course be blue, but it's not in that blue anyway. So. Oh, okay, I need to circle. There is a 1 in box 7. Sorry, there is a 9 in box 7 that must be circled. And it's only got 1 circle it can live in now, which is that one. So that's a 9. I'm actually doing quite well with 9s. How many 9s have I got? I've got loads. I've got loads. I've got a 9s. Right, I've got 9s in boxes 4 and 6 that are sort of hugging the perimeter. Now, surely that means something for the 1 that must be next to them. Because I don't know immediately. I mean, I can see that the 1 has to be in one of those 5 cells. So the same is going to be true on that side, isn't it? Because it's got to be next to the 9. So what does that mean? I don't know, but I bet you we can do more with 1s as well now than we could before. I'm just thinking, yeah, of course we can. Where's 1 in box 1? It can't be on all the circle 1s have been found already, so that's a 1. This is a 1-5 pair in box 3. Where is 1 in column 7 now? That's rather lovely. Can't be here, can't be there because of where the 9 is, so it has to be there because it can't be circled. Oh, okay, it won't end up being circled in box 7, so we can't quite do that. Okay, so it didn't, again, it's not quite gone as far as I was hoping. And I must know the colour of these 9s. Ah, no. Oh, not green. Not green. Because both of these can't, they're next to green. So 9 is either red or blue. I don't know quite what that means. So 9 is red or blue. So these two cells, remember they're the same colour because the 9 in here and the 9 in here are going to be next to ones that are not the 9's colour. So the 9, whatever the 9's colours is, it needs a 1 of the same colour, and that's in this box. It's quite difficult actually to keep track. It's quite difficult for me at least to keep track of this. I don't know. I mean, whatever this the okay, yeah. Yeah, that's quite lovely actually. Is this? Oh, in fact, it's weird the way my brain works. Why can't I see that? What I should ask here, and you've all been shouting at me about this, and I'm sorry, my brain just doesn't work like this. Where in row 5 are 1 and 9? That is the simplest articulation of a question you could possibly get. Where in row 5 are the digits 1 and 9? Well, the 9s can only go in these two positions. And the 1s can only go in those two positions from our pencil marking. They can't go here if there's a 1-9 pair already. So this is a 1-9 pair. And that's huge. Well, it might not be huge, but it's something. Because remember that whether this is 1 or 9, it's always going to be orthogonally adjacent to its friend. So now it's not possible for these cells to be 1s. It's just not possible. Because that would imply that I'm right about that, aren't I? I must be right about that. Yeah, because either this is a 1-9 or this is a 1-9, and over here either this is a 1-9 or this is a 1-9. You can't. Yeah, we can't put the 1s and 9s. So yes, I mean in fact, if that was a 1-9 like that, it would have just broken this cell. That's another way to think about it. So. Okay, so 1 is in, so here we go, we get more thingies in the grid for free. Yeah, yes, where's 1? 1's got to be here now. So that's a 1, this is 5, so this is a 5, this is a 5 by Sudoku. I've got all the 5s in the grid. I've got 6 1s and 6 9s, and it's just the 1s and the 9s in the middle 3 rows that we haven't quite bottomed out. And I don't know whether we can bottom them out. We might be able to. Is it worth just spending a moment on 2s and 8s? I don't know. 8 have to be 8. Well, 8 has to be in circles in almost every time. There's only going to be 1 8 in the puzzle that is not circled. So, and okay, and 8's always the same colour. Let's imagine 8's green. So if 8's green, whenever 8 appears on a 10 line, it's not going to be next to a green 2, is it? It's going to be next to either a red 2 or a blue 2 to be different to it. So, right, that is a very, very lovely thing indeed then. Yeah, look at this box, this box, this box, and this box. And all I want to say about those boxes is, where is the 8 in all those boxes? And the answer is, I have not got a Scooby-Doo. But in each of those boxes, the 8, which is a single colour, wherever it appears in a circle in the puzzle, is next to a 2. And it's not next to a 2 of its own colour, because it's not allowed to be according to the rules if it's circled. So these 4 green boxes now contain 4 2s that are the only 4 2s in the puzzle that are not the colour of the 8 itself. And that means that the other 2s that must appear in circles, there are 2 more 2s to find in the puzzle. Actually, where are they? They can't be on these lines. Because if we did put 8 on there, it would be next to a 2, but it would be creating another 2 that wasn't in its own colour, and those are full up. We've had enough of those. So I think that makes those a 2-8 pair. I think certainly you can't put 8 on this, and I don't think you can put 2 on it either, because if you put 2 on it, we know it's dominoed, so it would have to partner up with 8. And that doesn't work on that line, and it won't work down here. So now what have we done? Now, I don't know. I mean, I know that's going to be an 8. It just is, isn't it? It's got to be an 8. How do you know that's not a 2? If it was a 2, that would be the only uncircled 8. So that would be an 8. And that doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit complicated, but it's true. So what I did was I started off with this being a 2, and that makes this an 8. But because if this is a 2, this is the uncircled 8 in the puzzle, that means this must be a circled 8, and now I can't put a circled 8, because this is 8 and this is 8. Where are we circling the 8 that we must circle in box 3? There's nowhere to put it into a circle. So that is an 8, which means this is a 2. And that is beautiful, because now I know 8 is green. I've only got one 8 though. So 8 is green, which means wherever 8, which means in these boxes 2, 4, 6 and 8, the 2s are going to be reds and blues. So I've got to put two circled green 2s into either this box, this box, this box. Oh, there's actually loads of boxes. Although it can't be in a red cell, because it's the green ones that we want to find. So these cells are 3, 7 and 4, 6 in some order. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I'm sorry if you can all see this. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not even sure how to think about this now. I think we've had a reasonable trot. 45 minutes, I think. That's not too bad. I have got digits. Sometimes I don't have any digits after 45 minutes. So, I don't know what to do. Sorry. Is it okay? If that was an 8 now, then because 8 is always green when it's circled, if that was an 8, the uncircled 8 would be in box 3 if this is an 8. So every other box would need to have a green circled 8 in it, which would have to be here. It would have to be down there. The alternative is that there is a circled green 8, which would have to be here in box 3. And then there would be a circled 8 there. Box 9 would be... Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, okay, I think that's reasonable. So what I've now worked out is that it's either box 3 or box 9 that has the uncircled 8 in it. Because in order to circle an 8 in box 3, you have to put it here, which prevents you from putting a circled 8 into box 9. And if you don't have a circled 8 here in box 3, you can't put a circled 8 into this box because it needs to be green. So that means there is a green circled 8 in box 7, and I can place it. And that means that's a 2, and so that is 8 then. Okay, so 8s are always green. Let's put those in. And one of those is an uncircled 8, and every other box... Oh, you see, now it's a bit weird in this box. In box 4, I've got this a 189 triple. So that means 2 is in one of those cells. I mean, that's a slightly odd deduction, but it's true. And therefore, I think 2 is here in box 7, because we can see by Sudoku it's in one of these two cells, but I think we're looking for the green 2s in this sort of box here, the green circled 2s. We're not looking for red circled 2s or blue circled 2s, because they are in these boxes, along with their green circled 8s that they are adjacent to on the 10 lines. So I think that's a 2. And now I've got a 2-8 pair of all things on this funny little line down here. Now that means I've got vertical pairs. I don't quite know how to do this, but I just want to show you. I've got sort of pairs that are like this on this line. Because this is a 2-8 pair, so that adds up to 10. So this might be 3-7, it might be 4-6. So whatever that is going to be over here. Now, what can we do with this knowledge? I don't know yet. Hopefully something. I don't know yet. I'm enjoying this though. I mean, this is just fascinating, isn't it? Now, oh yeah, lovely. Where's 2 in box thingy, box 3 by Sudoku? It's got to be here. It's circled. So that is one of the 2 green 2s in the puzzle in one of those cells. I don't know if I know which one. I'm looking at it, I'm trying to make it tell me. I'm trying to make my brain tell me, and it won't. Okay. Okay, so so 2 in this box is in one of those 3 cells. So 8 has to be adjacent, and it can't be in this column, look. So if that's 2, that would be 8. And that would be 8. You've got to be very careful with this. I can't quite see how to do it. I don't know. Do I know? I don't think I do know. I'm not sure. There might be a way to know, but I don't think I know it. Sorry. Or is it... I'm getting stuck now. There's so many things flying around my head. I keep going back to 9s, thinking, well, now you must know the colour of 9s, but I don't know if I do. I've still got to find another circle 2. Where's that? Yeah, where is that? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 circle 2s, 5 circle 2s. I've got 6, 7, 8 circle 2s. So there must be a circle 2 in this box. Right. So there's a 2 in one of those cells, which means that's not a 2. So if that was 2, that would be 2. And then 2 would be there. But I don't know. I'm not sure how to do this, actually. This is always... Yeah, these rectangles, they're always split into something that's like this. So this rectangle, it's going to have 2 vertical dominoes adding up to 10 and 1 horizontal domino. So it's going to have 2 vertical dominoes. So if it did have a vertical 2, 8 domino, it couldn't be in that column. Could it be in that column? If that was 2, 8 somehow, that would be 2, that would be 2, that would be 8. No, it doesn't work. You can't put 8 in the middle box. That's weird. Right, this is important. So I'm looking at this box, and I'm wondering how we'd divide it up into dominoes. And we can see that, I mean, let's say it began with that pattern. It either begins with that pattern or it begins with that pattern, doesn't it? And we don't know which. But if it's like that, then we're just going to go round and create dominoes like this. You can see 2 vertical dominoes, 1 horizontal domino. If, on the other hand, we start like that, then these 2 are going to be vertical dominoes. So we always end up, however we split it, with 2 vertical dominoes and 1 horizontal domino. And my question was, I know there's a 2, 8 domino in here. Is it possible that it's one of the vertical dominoes? Well, it clearly can't be a vertical domino in column 5 because that's going to break this cell. Now, so is it a vertical domino in this column? So, for example, is it possible for that to be a 2, 8 pair? Ignore Sudoku for a moment. Let's just think this through. And the answer, of course, is no, because the moment we do this, 2 and 8 are in these cells in column 5, in box 5, and that's going to break this cell. So you can't do it. And that means that there is a horizontal domino, and this is so beautiful because the horizontal domino can't be here. It's either here or here. That's the only two valid places for a horizontal domino around the rectangle. But if it was here, it would clash with that too. So that is a 2-8 pair in box 2. And therefore this is not a 2, and this is. And we know the colour of it. It's got to be the green one. And that is now not an 8, but this is. So, and we know that's green, which means, okay, so this is also 189 over here, which, okay, right, so where's 8 in row 5 then? Because I know one of those is 8 and one of these is 8. So 8 in row 5 must be in these 3 cells where its friend the 2 lives as well. So this is a 2-8 pair, and both, well, all 8s are green, but also the 2 that we needed a green 2, because we can't have green 2s in boxes 2, 4, 6 and 8, so that's there as well. So this is we know the colours of it. Now, okay, that's very exciting. I don't know what that means. Oh, come on. What do you think we do with this? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably to do with... Well, it might be to do with that. I was going to say, is it to do with shading these dominoes now? It might be. I mean, because the 8s are sort of X-winged, we're either going to end up with sort of a 1-9 domino like this and like this, and a 2-8 domino like that and like that. Well, I don't like that colour. Like that and like that. And then this would be a domino. And that would be it. So those two would be the same colour, and these two would be the same colour. And that's broken. Good grief, that's so beautiful. I'm actually, but hang on, I think I've broken the puzzle actually. That's incredibly distressing. Yeah, I mean, well, this definitely doesn't work, but I don't really... Is it different the other way? My brain can't do that with... sorry, it's doing my head in. This definitely doesn't work. Because, remember what we said about box 2 and this box? It's got 2 vertical dominoes. So in this box, we've got 3, 7 and 4, 6. And I don't know what the order is, but they're looking down. But it's this one we need to think about, whatever colour that happens to be, whatever version of 3, 7, 4, 6 that happens to be. Because red and orange, the way they're going to be disposed within box 5, orange are going to be like that, red are going to be like that. And that can't work. Because these represent their own dominoes. So either orange or red is 3, 7, and it's going to clash with this one. So we can't, because we've got vertical dominoes looking down, you can't have this pattern. And I appreciate if you're saying to me, yeah, but it's the same the other way around. I'm unfortunately well capable of believing that. Because what we're basically saying is that we can't have the 1-9 domino in this pattern. We're going to have it in that pattern. Which means that this would be the 2-8. What colour do we have for that? Green. So that would be 2-8. I know, so they do split differently. They become vertical dominoes here. Okay, this might survive then. Because let's make that red and well, I don't know if that can be... No, it can't. This is so cool. It gives us the opportunity to separate the dominoes. Look, watch. This is so beautiful. Right, I've just labelled this red arbitrarily. Can this be the red domino? We know it's not purple, we know it's not green. Could it be the red domino? No, because if it's the red domino, these are both orange then, and we're going to get exactly the same problem. I'm going to get double orange here, double red here, and whatever this domino is, it will clash with the domino that goes across. However, if I make that the orange domino, now this could be the red domino, that can be the orange domino, and now it's a much more complicated situation. Because what you're going to have now is whatever this domino is, red or orange, and it's one of them, and this is red or orange, but you're not going to, it's not impossible for it to make it work now. Because only one of these needs to be the same colour as that one. So I'm not sure what this means, though. I mean, it does mean... No, I do know some things it means. I do. The other thing is I can't really colour this, can I? Because I need to go back to my blues, greens and red colourings. Okay, so what we should do, let's go to the line tool again. I'm going to divide this. This is the colouring that happens in this box. This is the colouring that happens in this box. And we can say for sure that this is a 2 and that this is a 2. That's forced because we know this is now the 8 and we know this is the 8. We know these are the purples are the 1-9 pairs. That's absolutely legitimate. Now, that's definitely not an 8. I know... Okay, I always... Okay, so let's unshade those. I always know green is 8, so I can do that. See, this is going to get tricky now. I don't quite know how to deal with this. Sorry, it's probably really obvious. I don't know how to do it. So maybe, okay, I know that's the same as that, and that's the same as that. Oh, that's it. Okay, but how about that one then? Because this one's got to have 2 orange digits on it, so they've got to be there now. So that's got to be double red. Oh, so this is where it's going to get really difficult because those are now double red. These are double orange. I mean, you can see what's happening here. I don't know how to... this is double orange. This is double red. This is double red. This is double orange. Okay, I mean, I'm going to have to... I tell you what, I'm not looking forward to trying to think about this either in terms of how is this going to disambiguate? That is a horrifying thought. Okay, let's before we abandon the colouring, let's just think about that. How does this... How can we take this further? It's got to be something to do with the circle numbers. So 7... I see. Yeah, okay. So 7 is appearing 7 times in some colour. And it's going to have... it's on 10 lines in this box, this box, this box, this box, this box, and this box. So it's in 6 10 lines. Each time it will be adjacent to a 3 that won't be able to be its own colour, i.e. the same colour as the 7. So there is going to be one 3 that... No, that's all the 3s. That's all the 3s. Because there are 6 circled 3s in the puzzle. 3 of one colour, 3 of another colour. Both those colours not being the 7's colour. So in every other box, there is... the 3s are uncircled. Right, so in box 3, 3 is uncircled. Oh, we could see, we already knew that. It's uncircled here. And it's uncircled here. I mean, it's a tiny deduction, but it is what it is. Okay, so that didn't really work. And there's got to be one 7 that is circled that is not on a 10 line. And that is either going to be this little 7 down here, or one of those two has to be a 7. So the best thing would be if you could somehow work out 7 was green, because then I would know where it went. Okay, let's think about the other numbers then. So what else have we got? We've got 4s and 6s as pairs as well. So 6, yeah, so 6s are done. All right, this is good. This is good. 6s are done in the 10 lines, because 6 is going to be on a 10 line here, on a 10 line here, on a 10 line here, 10 line here, 10 line here, 10 line here, etc. So all 4 circled 6s are done on the 10 lines, and that means there are no circled 6s in this box, so that is actually now a 3-6 pair of all things, which means these two cells are a 4-7 pair. Oh, right, and that's the 7. So 7 is not green. Oh, so 7 isn't green. Does that help us? Because it is, whichever one of these is 7, it's next to a green. I can't remember which of the original. Some of the that was shaded, wasn't it? There was, I think there were 3 originally shaded. Maybe it was that one. 1, 2. Which was the? Oh, that one. That's a blue, is it? Is that a blue under the red? Yeah, that's blue. So that could well be 7 if 7 is a blue colour. Okay, but so 6s are done. What about 4s then? Because 4s, what about 4s? Yeah, this is a 4, isn't it? That's what's going on there. Because in the puzzle there are 8 circled 4s, and the 6s on the 10 lines hypothecate 6 of those 4s. So there are still two circled 4s to come, and one of them is in this box, and the other one must be here, and it must be in that cell, and that is red. Oh, of course it's red, and I've just got rid of orange colouring in it. Okay, but that's still great. No, that is great. That is great, because now I know that orange is 4-6. That is huge. Orange has to be 4-6, because that is definitely a 4. And so I can just use my colouring. So this is 3-7. Red is 3-7. That's a 4. That's a 6. So this is a 7. It's going to give me the colour of... And I'm going to get 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. Oh, this is superb. Right, look, it's actually we're getting this done. This is 6-7. Of course it's 6-7. No jokes. That's 3-4. all my colouring is up the swanny here. I'm going to have to fix it in a minute. 3 7 3 7 3 7 3 7. Right. So, okay. What about the? I don't know, actually. I was going to say, what about box 5? But I can't see how to do it. But what we could do now, I think, legitimately, is double-click all the reds, get rid of those. Double-click all the oranges, get rid of those. And approach the problem afresh. Now knowing that 7 is blue, which means that is blue. How many circles? Oh, hang on. I've only got 2. Well, that's not very good. Oh dear. Okay. Well, that's red because it sees both other colours. It's next to a blue and so. Okay, that is a circled 3 that is red. So there should be 2 more red circled 3s. And I know I should have been able to do 9 about 6 months ago in terms of its colour. I don't know how to do that. That 4 is doing things over here. So that's 4 and that's 6. So 4 is in one of those two, which means 6 is in one of these two. It's quite astonishing actually that this resolves from here. So I've had, I mean that one is definitely not a red 4. So that's the other colour of 4 is either blue or green. But we can't use that one because I don't know, that could still be a red 4. Oh dear. This is terribly obvious to everybody. Oh dear, there's a trampoline war going on outside as well. I can't get distracted by that. Come on, Simon. Use your brain. Come on, brain. Please. How do we do this? That 8 is not circled. It's not got a circle, so it shouldn't have a. I can't use that for this logic, can I? For that circle, because it's not actually a thingy. It's not actually a thingy. So what the possible colours for 6 are lime green or red. And they're always going to be the same colour. I'm just trying to see if there's a way to push them so that they're always, that they get pushed onto being next to a lime green or something like that. But I can't see how to do that off the top of my head. Wow. Okay, so this digit is either a lime green 8 or it's a 2 that would have to be blue. We've got our 2 green 2s. Oh, it's very hard to do the accounting here. I mean, I feel a bit bad that I can't just see it, but there's so much going on. At least I think there is. And I've learned that 7 is blue. So I know one of those is a 7. So if it was that one, then there would be a 7 3 here that would be 1 blue and 1 something else. This would be 6, 4. I must know more. Oh, no. I have a feeling it's to do with 6s, actually. But I can't see how to think about it properly. Or maybe it's those two. Look, neither of those can be green. But they can't both be blue, I suppose. Or they can't, no, that's not true. They can't both be 7. So one of those is a 3 that's not green, but it could be red. I keep going around in the circles of the same logic. I know I do. Right, what rule have I forgotten? That's probably, I don't know. I don't actually think I have. I tell you what I could do, just to make me feel better. I could divide up that 10 line. I know that's the most pathetic thing ever, but just in case it helps inspiration to strike. I don't think it's going to. Wow. So what is it? So I know that 9, it must be 9. 9 is definitely not green. So it's either blue or red. So these are different colours then, this 9, 4, because if 9 was blue, this would have to be red, it would see both colours. So those are one of each. That is sort of a blue-red pair. But we already know that 4 goes with 6. But we don't know what colour. We haven't yet established what colour all the 6s are. But it could be something like that, couldn't it? There's some chain of logic you can do. No matter what the 9 is, it does something. The thing is, I don't know a great deal about. I know 9 is touching 3 or 7 in a few places. Like, it is touching it here, it's touching it here, but it might not be touching the same digit. So if this was a 7, that would be a red 9. So that would be red. This would be a blue 4. And then I would know that all 4s were either blue or red. So there'd be no green 4s. So 6s would then be green. Oh, 6s can't be red. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's really lovely. It's very simple once you have the thought. But imagine 6 was red, then I know that somewhere in the 10s dominoes there is a 4-6 pair which would attach red to red, because 6, whenever it appears as a circle digit, is always on a 10 sum. So although I could say I could attach 4 4s to the 6 6s that were not the red coloured 4, so say there could be green coloured 4, for example, eventually I'm going to run out of 4s to attach to those 6s, and I'm going to have to attach a red 4 to a 6, which stops it stops 6 being a red. So that digit in the corner is actually a green. So 6 is green, which means this is green, because that is a circle. That is now blue. Right, so it is, well, I'm not surprised. There are blue and red 6s now from that logic. But the question is going to be, how do we propagate this? And that is a much more difficult question for me to answer. So 6 is now green. 6 is green, so I can't put it here. It would be next to another green, so 6 goes there, and that's going to disambiguate some thingies. So that's 6 and that's 4. 6 is always green. But 4 we don't know. 4 is red or blue. That 2, I already knew it wasn't green. Oh dear. 6 is green, so that can't be 6. It would be green. It is circled, so the 6 moves over to the middle. So 6, 4, 7, 3. 7 I know is blue. 6 I know is green. 8 I know is green, so it can't go next to the 6. So that's 8, that's 2. That's green. The 2, I'm not so sure what it is. I've now got that 9 fenced in by 2 greens. The red 3, I know that there is 3 is a colour of... Oh, I know red... Hang on. Oh, this could be a green 3. I do need to find green 3s. I'm sorry, I know I'm being dumb here. Okay, this is now 4, 6, so that gets me another green here. And that's going to be good for this digit, actually. So this is 3, 7. This is such a... How long have I had now? 1 hour, 21 minutes. I am making slow progress. Yeah, but this is now a blue digit, look. And blue is definitely not the colour of 8. So the 8 must go here, which I could have done that a different way. So blue 2, not blue tooth, but blue 2. That means this is 2, this is 8. So have we done all the 8s? I think we've done all the 8s. Have we done all the 2s? Done lots of them. I've done lots of them, but I haven't shaded them in. I need 2 red 2s, actually. I don't know where they're living, but I do need 2 of them. These have to be different colours. Wow. Wow. Okay. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing that you can... It's amazing I can get this far and still not know what colour the 9 is. Okay. I don't know what to do with this. If... I don't know. I'm sorry. Let's... Are there any cells? Yes. That one. That's got to be red, hasn't it? It sees blue, it sees... So that... But I don't know whether it's 1 or 9. But that digit's blue now, I suppose. That feels logical. Now... So this digit is now red. So this digit is now blue. This is actually doing some things here. So now I've got 2 blue 2s. Right, I've got 2 blue 2s. I've got 2 green 2s. So I need 2 circled red 2s. That's one of them. Where's the other one? There. Ah, that one's isolated, but this one isn't. That one sees that cell. But that could be the blue 7. Oh, bother. How does that not do anything? This cell is blue. So it must be the 7. Because if this was the 7, it would be blue. 7 is always blue. So this is 7. So this is 7. This is 3. So this is 3. So this is 3. Come on. This is 7. So this is 4, 6, and I know the order. 4, 6. I've almost done the puzzle. I mean, I really am close to finishing. I just don't know how to do it. So, oh no. So what do we know about anything now? I don't know. I've got 2 red 4s. I've got some number of blue 7s. How can this still be resisting? This 3 is either red or green. Now, if it was, what colours have we got for 3s at the moment? Have I established what colour? Oh yeah, 3s. I do need some green 3s. I need 3 green 3s actually. Ah, that's it. That's it. That's beautiful. It's so brilliant, this. Right, because we've got 7s that are blue, and in fact I could make this blue. That's the simplest way to see it. I mean, I cannot tell you what I went through in my mind to get this digit or this digit's colour when I could have just coloured that. We'll gloss swiftly over that. That's now red. Now I've got 2 red 3s. And I've got to think about green 3s. So where are the possible locations for green 3s? This could be one. One of these 2. Ooh. Oh, neither of those could be a green 3. They're both next to green. So this must be a red 3, and that's all the red 3s. So every other 3 in the puzzle is green, and therefore that can't be green. That can't be 3. It would be green. That's 3. That's 7. That's 7. That's 3. That's 7. That's another 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. I still haven't done the 1s and 9s. This is madness. Right, so this is a red 3. This is a blue 7. That is a blue 4, of which I now have 2 in the puzzle. This is a green 3. 1 green 3. 2 green 3s. There should be 1 more green 3. Where are you? There. So this is blue 7. This is absolutely extraordinary, isn't it? I have almost finished this, and I have not got a clue how to do it. I know that is blue or red, but that's common. That's knowledge that is not. Okay, that's the 4 in the puzzle that is uncircled. So what? I've still got these 1s and 9s to do. It's absolutely remarkable. Ah, but that 9, there we go. Making that a 7 has made this 9 red. So 9 is red. That's going to do it. 9 is red. Boom. So that is the blue 1. That is a 9 that must be red. This is a 1. I'm not committing to its colour yet. It's definitely not blue. And it's not the colour of 9, which is there, isn't it? So it's not red. So it is green. That's a green 1. These are both red. And therefore that is blue by a process known as colour. This is a 1, that's a 9. That's the Sudoku. The Sudoku is done. The 9s are red. It's 2 4s that I've not coloured in. And some stuff up here as well. So let's just be careful. This is a blue 4. So how many blue 4s? 1, 2. Please don't be 5. Please. There's 4. Yeah, so look, I've got 2 red 4s and 2 uncoloured red 4s, and that is, boom, how to do the puzzle. Oh my goodness. That is a stunning, stunning puzzle, Jeff. Absolutely ridiculously clever. That's taken me a long time, and I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to get through it. Wow. That was brilliant. Incredible, incredible logic. A bit of a longer video. I'm sorry about that. Do let me know how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And I think we can, I mean, do I get a diploma or a certificate that I can hang up in my entrance hall that I can introduce people to as they, if they come in and just say, this is the most important thing on my resume. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Fantastic stuff. And I loved it. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.